Can you tell the difference between your intuition and your imagination? I want to talk about the differences between the two and why it's important because sometimes we can get a little confused about what our intuition is. And sometimes we don't understand that our imagination actually might be getting in the way and we might think that it's intuition. Now, imagination is incredibly important to use, especially when we're visualizing and we're trying to understand and contemplate and forecast what a vision is for our life. We want to play in that realm and really cast a wide perspective and want to be able to have a really big vision about our lives. And we want to get really specific and have a really active imagination to really get all of the senses in. Now, that plays a role when we want to manifest a life. We want to look at things that we really want to bring towards us and magnetize towards us. The intuition part is always a little bit difficult because there's multiple senses in the body that'll help us understand what is intuition or what is our intuitive nature, our intuitive hits, impulses, insights. It could be an actual vision, a deep knowing. It could also be kind of a gut instinct. So there's something that happens internally in the body to let us know what's coming. Sometimes it's even prophetic, like a dream. Sometimes it's seeing patterns and synchronicities, right? So this is kind of the duality of what's coming within us. And how is that starting to get mirrored out into the world? So a lot of times we have a hard time understanding what our intuition is because we get gaslit a lot when we were younger, or we're explaining to someone that we have this intuitive hit and we're really excited, or we're feeling something coming, and somebody else just may not understand what it is that we're getting because it's really not for them. And so they may inherently, by intention or by not at all, tend to gaslight and dismiss what it is. So it's always difficult when we share our intuitive insights because it may not land well for other people. So we tend to keep them in, or we tend to misunderstand them. We tend to misjudge what it is that we're getting. So the difference between the two is understanding when we're looking at intuition, we're getting a knowing in a sense. It's immediate. There's no crafting of a story. There's no trying to come up with a fantasy like we would with our imagination, where you would just know inherently what is to come, or you'd get a vibe or a feeling about it, as opposed to your imagination. You have to construct a story. You have to really sit with and understand, well, how is the environment look? What is everybody wearing? What is everybody saying? Like, you're piecing together elements so that you can craft and create a vision. Where intuition, it just really is. It's a download. It's a piece of information that's coming through. It's just almost a part of you. And I wanted to differentiate between the two because sometimes we do need our imagination to manifest and to play in our minds what it is that we want, and to feel all of those senses coming through so that when it's getting close, or it's preparing us, because our environment is preparing us, our reality is preparing us, then the intuition kicks in to know which way to navigate to get towards, or be in a place, be in a frequency where that's coming. And so there's kind of this interesting difference between the two, and those nuances of what is it that I'm really understanding in my mind? What is it that I'm really thinking about, feeling, and maneuvering? So a lot of times when we're looking to start something and begin something, we move with imagination and we follow it with intuition. Sometimes we move with intuition because something is pushing us, nudging us, guiding us, and we can leverage our imagination to keep it going. But imagination is not to guide us. It's more of a way to accentuate and fill in the blanks, fill in what it is that we need to help crystallize and visualize if we want to create something, produce something, build something in our lives. What does that actually start to feel like and look like? And we want to play with senses so that we're really in this deep sense of embodiment and understanding. And it's a really beautiful nuance between the two, and to kind of balance and tether in between imagination and intuition. Because if you let both kind of have their place, they kind of work hand in hand in the right hemisphere of the brain. And you can then start to see the logical patterns, the synchronicities come through as you're putting things together. But I think what might get people a little tripped up is when they're in their imagination, they may regard that as intuition. And I just wanted to kind of separate the two because they're both really important when we want to visualize our life going forward, but we really want to make sure that we're not taking imagination as intuitive guidance, or that the imagination, because we're imagining something, because we have a fantasy about something, because we can start to visualize something, that's guidance. That's a vision, and that's something that we want to have come towards us, but we also want to let go of any expectations on those visions. We want to get it as close to as possible and also allow for the universe, God, source, Mother Nature, you insert what you need to insert, also deliver something that is exceeding beyond that vision and that fantasy. That we're just starting to set a template and a place forward. When your intuition is heightened and it's really active, there is a deep sense of knowing. It's just this like profound understanding, and you really, really stand in that truth because you know it to be true for you. Imagination is something that you know you can play with. You can play with scenes in your mind. You can play with constructing different scenarios. That's separate. And while that's fun as a guiding post for a vision, it's not intuition. So I hope this was really helpful. Thank you all for being here. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.